I'm back! Oh, someone's at my door. Nice, serious. Oh! With videos. Oh, I can hear Ezra's just woken up, guys. Oh, no. More consistency. I actually can't do this. I'm gonna have to get him out of his pram. One sec. I'm so distracted, it's unreal. Don't eat that, please. Bring the excitement back for them. Oopsie daisy. He's okay. Whew. Right, and my battery died. So I started this video and then the postman arrived and then I started again and then Ezra woke up from his nap. So we're just gonna start fresh now. Ezra is awake next to me. He's probably going to be making a little bit of noise, but that's okay, isn't it, guys? You know what it is on this channel. I've been gone for ages and probably all of these interruptions will give you a little bit of an idea as to why I stopped for so long and just was like, do you know what, I just can't even do this right now. But I've got a lot of new ideas, I've got some fresh energy for YouTube, and I do really want to be more committed and more consistent to like investing into this space, because I've like gained so much from other people's YouTube videos, so I always feel like it's only right to put back, you know, like put back what you take. So this is why I'm back. I'm not going to bother being like, this is what I've done for the last few months, because if you're here for this video, then you probably don't really care and you probably haven't even realised that I've been gone, and that is fine. So this video I wanted to make because I found myself having like a similar type of conversation over and over again, and that's not a bad thing at all, but I just realised that people have similar questions when it comes to starting your own platform or starting your own business, or you've just got an idea that you want to bring to reality. So I'm definitely not like a top businesswoman. I'm rubbish when it comes to like actual business stuff like finances and SMART goals and 10-year plans and all of that kind of stuff. I'm not the best in that area, but I am okay, I would say, at having an idea and bringing it to reality. So I started a platform called Girl Got Faith about 5 years ago, and that was just born out of an idea that I had, and I was like, no, there's a real need for this and I want to make it happen. And God has really provided me with great people around me that have helped me kind of see out the vision. But it means that we've actually built something really good and really valuable and worthwhile over the years. So sometimes people come and they'll say, how did you do it? Or what is your advice? So this is my advice for anybody with their own business or platform or whatever it is that you want advice about. This is it. My first thing would be to know your why. You've got to know why you're doing what you're doing, because in this generation I think so many of us, we can think or feel this pressure that we have to start something of our own because that's what people do. But actually I think if you're starting something just because you want to be a CEO, or just because you want to, I don't know, say that you started your own thing, or it's an identity thing, then I don't think that's necessarily the right reason to start. It can be part of your reason, but I think if your sole reason is based on yourself and your identity, finding your identity in something you've created, I just don't know if that's necessarily going to have longevity to it, because there will be so many things that can kind of come in your way and hurdles that will come, and if it's all based on you, or if things go wrong, then that's going to really rock your sense of who you actually are. So it's important to have a why that is based on something that is maybe has a bit more depth. Maybe this is an idea that God has given you, or maybe there's a need that you've noticed in the world, or just something that you're really passionate about, and that can often be a really good reason why. So basically just know your why, and that is my number one. Number two is to be consistent. So like I was saying before, we're kind of in a generation where loads of people are starting things. It's actually easy to start your own platform. It's easy to, I don't know, make a new Instagram page and make it really specific about a topic, or even to start your own business, because you can make your own website really easily and you can spread the word quite easily because of social media and how connected we all are. But this means I'm trying to talk, baby. Yeah, so this basically means that there are loads and loads of new things and new ideas and new businesses popping up left, right and centre all the time. We actually seek more consistency. I actually can't do this. Guys! I'm going to have to get him out of his pram. One sec. Whew. Right, we're back on track. So, I'm going to start again with my second point. So my second point is to be consistent. So like I said before, there are literally like new businesses, new ventures, new ideas popping up left, right and centre because it's so easy for us to do that nowadays. So anybody can start a new Instagram page that's really specific about something, or you can start your own business and make your own website, and it's pretty straightforward to do these days. But it means that a lot of people will start something and then like a couple months later they've lost interest, they're a bit bored and they're not doing it anymore. So I always find like when I see something new, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they'll be here in 6 months time, or I wonder if they'll be here in a few years time. Because actually where there are so many new things, as a consumer you're thinking about like, where am I going to bother investing my energy into, or my money if it's a product that you need to pay for. And you want to know that people are serious, like you want to know that people are in it for the long haul. So if you are the person behind that brand, and you need to make sure that you're really consistent, because consistency is very important. So maybe that means looking at what you're going to be doing a month from now, or what your plan is for how you're going to be consistently putting out content, or how you're going to be delivering products, or whatever it might be that you're creating. How will you create a sense of consistency? Because that is really, really important. So for Girl Got Faith, I'm not the most organised person in the world, so we've got an incredible girl that manages our social media, and since she's done that, it's just gone so much better, because she's super organised and she's made it really consistent. So every single morning, I think it's 7:30 a.m, that is when our post goes out on Instagram, and they're all scheduled in advance, and that has been so instrumental in our growth, because people know exactly what they're getting and when they're getting it. So it makes a massive difference to be consistent. And my third and final piece of advice that I always give people is to plan for the day when you don't feel like doing it anymore. And this is a huge one, because if you have got your why, like you know why you're doing something, and it's something that you're passionate about, or there's a depth of connection that you've got to it, or there's a need that you've noticed, it's not actually good enough for you to just one day wake up and be like, I can't bother to do this anymore, because that's not serving anyone. That's not even responding to the need that you've noticed. That's just you doing something on impulse. But the truth is that we all have lives that are up and down, and different things happen, different phases of life will come, and you're not always going to be on like level 100 with your energy for your business or your idea. There will be times when you're like, do you know what, maybe I'm not the person for the job, maybe somebody else could do it better, maybe this isn't even going to work, maybe I should just quit. Don't eat that, please. And so it's really important to think ahead of that day. And I know it seems a bit rubbish when you're like in the excitement of a new idea, about what you're going to do when that day comes. What have you got in place? So for me, it was really important to make sure I had a team of people around me, because having a team meant that on those days when I was feeling just like, I can't do this anymore, or I've run out of ideas, I've got no inspiration, there'll be someone in your team or someone who you work alongside who will be like, oh, I've just had this great idea, and it will just give you fresh energy again for what you're doing. And so really don't underestimate the power of just having people around you that you can spur each other on. And there'll be times when they're feeling really uninspired, and maybe I'll say something that will bring the excitement back for them. Oopsie daisy. He's okay. Whew. Right. So yeah, in those moments when you're like just having a weak time, it's so important to have a team around you. And then also it kind of ties in with the consistency thing, but planning ahead for what is to come. So it's really, really difficult to build a business or build a platform or build a brand when you're working just day to day. You're being reactive, you're just doing what comes up that day. But actually, if you can plan ahead and you can think, right, what do we want to be doing in 6 months' time, and how am I planning for that now? That really helps, because actually, no matter how you feel in that moment or in that season, you've already prepared for this. So it's like you've already done loads of the work and you're working on what's coming next. So it gives you a bit more grace, and yeah, it helps your brand or your platform to look really professional from the outside, when on the inside it might be feeling like, I've no idea what I'm doing, everything's falling apart. But as long as your customers or your audience are seeing something that is consistent and well put together, then actually they're going to just have real trust and build trust and belief in your brand, and that is when you'll see people that stick with you for the long haul. So they are my main bits of advice. So number 1 is know your why, number 2 is to be consistent, and number 3 is to prepare for the day when you don't feel like doing it anymore. So I did not do that with this YouTube channel, as you can see, because I was very inconsistent. And my battery died. But I'm back again. So we're going to go now, because I need to get Ezra back to sleep, to stop him falling over again as he tries to walk around the house. But yeah, I will be back again with more videos, and that is an absolute promise, because I've already got a plan. And we love you loads. Please do like and subscribe, because it would just mean a lot to me, and maybe it will help me be more consistent. But yeah, I love you all, and thank you for bearing with me, and yeah, honestly, you're amazing, and I absolutely love this community. So have a great week. We love you loads. Say bye. He can actually say mama now. Ezra, say mama.
Mom.
No, okay, say mama.
Mama.
Okay, nearly there. Okay, bye.